This week on the Travel Show.
I take to the sky here in Japan to check out one of the country's latest World Heritage sites. Our global guru has some tips on how to help fund your travels whilst you're away. And Alex goes on board a unique tall ship that's been adapted so everyone can be part of the crew.
That's so close.
We start this week in Osaka, a modern city totally rebuilt after the devastation of the Second World War. But among the street crossings and skyscrapers, you can still find artifacts from its past. You might just not be able to spot them from the ground.
Made it to the top. It's a little bit of a view. It's not bad. A lot of trees here. Not really that much to see.
To get the best view of these historic wonders, you really have to take to the sky.
Oh my gosh, we're taking off.
Dotted across the city, there are nearly 50 grassy hills, some of them built in a distinctive keyhole shape. The Japanese call them kofu, burial mounds built over 1,500 years ago.
Realize the scale and get up here and then see it.
These man-made structures hold the remains of some of ancient Osaka's most powerful figures. And this summer, these memorials were recognized as the city's first UNESCO World Heritage Site.
土を3段に持って表面は石を張ります。植えられたものではなし、自然に1500年の間に自然に生えてきたものです。
Yoshizawa-san has been studying the tombs for decades and was involved in the successful UNESCO bid.
これは王神天皇陵古墳といって日本で2番目に大きい古墳なんです。
Ah, I see. We're standing here right now. Wow, this is so big.
425メートル。
425 meters.
The size and shape of burial mounds depends on the person's status. The sites were decorated with Haniwa, clay figurines that were used in the funeral ceremony.
大王がここに葬られているので、このエリアを守るために埴輪を並べて大切な場所を区画しているんです。埴輪、最近この辺りで調査をして見つかって今修復しているので、ぜひご覧になっていただきたいと思います。どうぞ。
行きましょう。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Okay, let's go.
全部洗ってから、模様とかをよく観察しながら洗って後でつける時の参考にしていきます。
Okay, so once they're cleaned, what's the next step?
これは外で乾かした後中へ持っていって、いろんなパーツに分けて、パズル接合していきます。
Like a jigsaw puzzle.
Jigsaw, okay.
Yeah.
Haniwa take on a lot of different forms and meanings.
色とか形
A house like this is thought to have symbolized the person's lifestyle. Reassembling these figures can take as long as a year.
Will you try?
Wow, I wouldn't know where to start with a puzzle like this. I guess.
色は
Maybe?
よく近いですけど、no.
Yeah. Maybe.
そうお尻が違いますね。
Okay.
私たちの身の回りにあるこういう大きな古墳が世界遺産になったということは誇らしく思います。これから世界の人が見に来て いただくことを期待したいと思います。
こんにちは。よろしくお願いします。
Tourists visiting the mounds can also have a go at crafting their very own Haniwa.
今日はですね、皆さんそういった当時のことをちょっと思いながらご自由にお好きな埴輪を作っていただいたらいいかと思いますので。
A nearby arts centre called Okuraya offers classes.
Right, that's yeah.
と小さな丸。
Make it smaller?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get smaller at the top, I see. Okay.
こことかちょっともうちょっと滑らかに丸くしたい場合はこの手のひらでこうして調節、粘土柔らかいので、
He looks a bit surprised, doesn't he, this guy? Is that all right?
もうちょっとここの。
Ah, okay. Oh, even down there. Wow. Your attention to detail is amazing.
I couldn't really tell you what my Haniwa is supposed to represent.
They're just being kind.
And when you compare it to the ancient figurines that Yoshizawa-san and his team are restoring, it's a humbling reminder of the craft and skill that went into building Osaka's extraordinary burial mounds. Next, we're off to Spain, where a railway station high in the Pyrenees holds a secret that stretches back to the dark days of the Second World War.
Yo siempre digo que Canfrán es la Casablanca real de la guerra. Aquí es donde realmente estaba ocurriendo una película real. Canfrán era el lugar estratégico en el que Portugal y España apoyaban a los alemanes enviando wolframio a cambio del oro que los alemanes robaban en los bancos europeos. Era también el lugar en el que en el año 40 hasta el año 42 este paso fue el paso más elegido por los refugiados, por los judíos, por la gente que huía de la guerra, porque el tren que se cogía en Canfrán iba directamente a Lisboa. Canfrán, Madrid, Lisboa era el camino de la libertad. Los propios carabineros me decían, yo jamás entregaba un refugiado a los alemanes. Yo les decía, hoy no puedo permitirte pasar, pero pasa por ese otro valle.
Y son 800 metros de roca y de tierra lo que hay encima de la sala principal hasta llegar a la superficie. Es la zona de mayor cobertura que podíamos lograr con el túnel. Y nos separan 2.400 metros por el túnel ferroviario de la salida española.
Still to come on this week's travel show.
Simon has tips on the best way to earn money while you're abroad. And Alex heads off to sea on a specially adapted tall ship.
Wow, how am I going to get us up there? I'll be on that mast, are you serious?
So don't go away. Now, while I've been in Osaka, I've noticed that the burial mounds that we featured earlier in the show are just about everywhere here. And I'm not just talking underground. Check out this place. Arigato. Wow. Well, I've never had a burial mound shaped quiche before. Let's hope it doesn't taste any different. Here goes. It's very thick. Looking good inside. Tastes good, just like a regular quiche. Thank goodness.
Hello again. This week the theme is Southeast Asia on a budget. I've advice on some hidden gems in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur and the prospects for picking up casual work as you travel around the region. But first, it's 500 years since Leonardo da Vinci died, and to mark the visionary and artist, a new blockbuster exhibition is opening at the Louvre in Paris on the 24th of October. The show's running until February next year, but it's expected to prove so popular that admission is only by timed tickets. You must book ahead. Back to Southeast Asia, and on Instagram, Passport asks,
Hi Simon, I'm looking for some hidden gems in Singapore or Kuala Lumpur, especially cultural sites or museums.
In Singapore, I have two favourites, both of which seem to be under-visited. The first is Fort Siloso on Sentosa Island, now a military museum, including the Surrender Chamber, depicting the events when British defenders surrendered to the Japanese in 1942, and 3 years later, when the occupying army itself surrendered. The other is the Treetop Walk, which takes you high above the tropical rainforest at the heart of the island. Kuala Lumpur also has some urban rainforest with high altitude access. The Forest Eco Park, miraculously preserved in the heart of the urban jungle, gives splendid views of the skyscrapers. My other highlight is the capital's old railway station, which, when the current building opened in 1910, was one of the most spectacular buildings in the young city. Fred Nurgles is off to Thailand and Vietnam in November and December.
I love swimming, but I'm in a wheelchair and the wheels are not sand friendly. Are there any places where I can get easier access?
Fred, I've not much experience of renting wheelchairs on sand, so I've sought some expert advice.
In terms of the swimming, there are actually equipment available in some beaches, like in Tenerife where I was last week. They have the amphibian chair, so that's actually a chair with much bigger wheels that can go over both the sand and then it can go out in the sea and float. Definitely look out for amphibian chairs. As you know, Fred, they're difficult to find. So I think your best bet is to contact one of the specialist accessible travel companies. In terms of Thailand and Vietnam, I've been asking around and come up with Phuket as an option for you. Patong Beach in particular has been recommended, and a quick search shows there are hotels nearby with good wheelchair access. An alternative on Phuket might be Caron Beach. It's got a pavement running along its length that allows easy access onto the sand.
Finally, Simon Lusted wonders,
are there places I can get short-term work that might fund my travels around the world?
I've been working my way around the world intermittently for a number of decades, picking fruit in Australia, making radio commercials in California, but finding unskilled work at a reasonable rate of pay in a country with relatively low wages and a large supply of labour is both difficult and morally questionable. Earn at home, spend abroad. I think that's the best way to go. Do keep sending in your questions and I'll do my very best to find you the answers. From me, Simon Calder, the Global Guru, bye for now and see you next time.
Now finally this week we're heading to the port city of Cardiff in the United Kingdom. The Welsh capital was once one of the largest docklands in the world, made up of a bustling community of seafarers. And now it's the starting point for the travel show's Alex Taylor, who's in for a unique sailing experience.
This is Tenacious, the only tall ship of its kind in the world, designed and built so it can be sailed by a truly mixed ability crew.
Wow, how are they going to get us up there? I'll be on that mast, are you serious?
This was the largest wooden ship to be built in the UK for over a century when it was completed in 2000. The Jubilee Sailing Trust is a registered charity running the ship, which focuses on what people can do instead of what they can't. With my ginger biscuits in my bag, I was hauled aboard to spend a week with my new shipmates. On board, I'll be part of the ship's watch, hoisting the sails and getting stuck in.
What you've got here is you've got a bunk.
Okay.
You've also got the lockers.
Right.
I think we're expecting some pretty choppy weather as we leave here down to Land's End.
Fun.
But I guess the captain will explain it. But
Ginger biscuits are good, right?
Ginger, you got it.
Either way, guys.
You lot, you're the crew, not guests or passengers or any of that nonsense. You guys are here as crew. You're the ones that are going to do all the bits and pieces to move the ship, to make it all happen. Now, to do that, we have to do a little bit of training.
These are permanently rigged in position. You place this wheels down. So we've got 2 evacuation routes. This is one of them. And all that we ask from our wheelchair users or those people that are with them is that for an emergency, the wheelchair user is in their wheelchair.
Nice and gently, guys, hand over hand. It's not a
Seoul, Monday, fast net. Southwesterly, 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first.
'It's lovely actually, it's part of a team already, learning things, so yeah, it's a really new experience really. I've got mark imprints from where all of the ropes were. I bought these because otherwise your hands will be in pieces. Our final destination will be Poole in Dorset. Chris, my watch leader for the journey, tells me how he started.
I came along, no experience of disability, and I came on board and I was buddied up with a guy who'd had a stroke when he was in his 20s. And he was such a lovely guy, and we had such a really good time. It was just a nice atmosphere on board. Everyone kind of pitches in, and it's a great equalising environment. I don't like the distinction able-bodied and disabled.
I don't either. Yeah,
I hate it, and the more time I spend with a wider range of people, the more I dislike it. Because you come on ships and you suddenly find that people have got all sorts of strengths and weaknesses and talents and abilities, irrespective of the way they are.
Wow, that's amazing. That's look. Oh, that's beautiful. Look. ridiculous. That's so close. As the sun set on my watch and the dolphins, it was my turn to take the helm of the 700-ton ship.
A bit more to the right, because you're actually spot on at the moment. You're absolutely spot on.
Only on camera. Off camera, I'm terrible.
You're doing exactly what you should be doing, which is stop, look at it, what's it doing, which way do I need to turn the wheel, and you've turned it exactly the right way.
My first time ever behind a wheel of a tall ship like this. It's huge and it's quite powerful and big. As night falls, I finally get time to reflect on today's challenges and look ahead to tomorrow. I'm exhausted and tired, and I don't know how everything started and where it ended, so I'm a bit lost. Look at that! But it's been a good time, and we see things which I would never see. Dolphins especially, I never thought I'd see them. We're going to go up a mast hopefully, and I've met people which is amazing who I would never normally have met. We've all got on well as a team, so it's been a bonding moment, I think, for everyone.
Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Coming up next week.
Kat is in Iceland learning about the effect climate change is having on the country's glaciers and ice fields.
I feel like I'm dancing here.
And we rejoin Alex as he takes on another tall ship challenge at sea.
Hang on, I'm stuck.
Well, I hope you can join us for that if you can. And don't forget, if you want to follow the Travel Show team on their journeys on the road in real time, you can catch us on social media. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Japan, it's goodbye.